Welcome to Serenity SMP, a Cobblemon journey adventure where we will see what the day brings. And welcome to a long video. I appreciate you clicking on this and are ready to see my biggest project yet. This clip that I am recording right now is recorded after the project is already done. And I can tell you, it's been over a month and a half in process from start to finish, but it is finally done, and I'm excited for you to see it. So I hope you will enjoy seeing the process from start to finish as we are building a massive tree. So here is a cut to me from a month and a half ago. And please bear with me throughout the recordings. The most of the time I was pretty sick and emotionally drained. So if I sound tired, that's why. So bear with me, please, and thank you, and enjoy the video. I'm on a single player creative server of the actual server, and we're gonna plant the tree right here. It's been an idea I had for a while, so let's just start the process. So what I usually start off doing is scale when I'm planning a building creative, and I'm assuming I kind of want it here, maybe with some roots going over, but we'll see. So let's just start off by making a tower. It's usually a good idea to go way taller than you expect, but keeping it around what you kind of think the height would be is also very nice. Then what we can do is go in FreeCam mode and see it from the ground to just like emulate being a person walking around and seeing what it would look like from afar. I like to take different angles to see how it will look height-wise and scale. And I do feel like I can definitely go higher. I like to use different kinds of wool to like indicate what I am doing, because it stands out. I feel like, because I don't use wool to build a lot, and it's kind of like sketch lines in a drawing. They're ugly, so your mind wants to fix it. So it should help make this maybe a little bit easier. So then we need to determine the actual size of it. A good way to do this is basically block spam. So you're just holding down the button and moving in a kinda shape that I want. Is it a good time to tell that I've never built a tree this big? Anyways, what I usually do is that I also then take guidelines, like making a skeleton basically. Like if you imagine a wire skeleton. And that's basically what we're gonna do for the rest of it. Make more wires, maybe indicate where some roots will go with some different types of wool, and see what kind of shape we come up with. Essentially, I took this ring and duplicated it up here, so it is the exact same. If we stand on this block right here and look direct up, we are up below this one. So we can easier make a dissection separating the two a lot better. I will just make it a lot easier in the future when we start working on this. From there, I have already started making some skeleton up here of where I want it to go up and branch off, and I'll work on that later. But I have started on a couple of sides of this and just making use of the different types of wool to get more dimension. So I know that all of this magenta wool in here will be a lot darker than the roots. So I have a little bit easier time telling the difference between them when I'm swapping them out for like the actual material. So I will continue fleshing out the roots and the insides like I have done here. It has been a while since I recorded the last clip because it was a big project, but I have now added more. So I have finalized some upper branches, and normally I would do way more, but I am also eventually planning on having big orange leaf patches. So for now this will be fine because the majority of these will be covered, so you won't see them anyway. So it feels pretty silly to make more detailed branches, as well as a lot of roots. So if you look at the map, it looks absolutely freaking insane also with the red wool. So but I'm very happy with where we are so far. If I manage to get up to the top, give me a moment while I do that. You can see behind me that I have filled in the top as well, and I did initially plan for it to go all the way up here, which I assume like some of the branches kinda almost do. So, you know, plans change and that's alright. And as well, I have done some hatches, so it's not just like a straight cut off plump, but more of a jagged edge. And filled in the center as well. So I originally thought, hey, now that I have everything in red wool, I can just do the command of /fill, replace all of the red wool with spruce. But I'm afraid that if I do that, the directions are gonna be all wonky, so I might have to do it by hand. But one of the places it will be fairly easy is in here, because I'm pretty much just gonna replace all of this with acacia. And to get like a more orangey look versus the spruce inside. So let me go ahead and fill this out. And after filling in the acacia here and up there, I did start filling in with spruce logs and wood, and considering doing this bit as well, but I feel like it's just gonna be double placement again for a third time. So I think I'm just gonna move this schematic that I have here into the real world and then just start placing over the red wool instead. And luckily it's taking up so much space that it's also having some of my castle here, so I have an easy landmark to place it, so it's gonna be exactly where I want it to be. And from here I can start clearing out where I know there's gonna be stuff. So we just have to clear everything that is this pink-ish color and everything that is red, because that's where the roots and the rest of the tree is gonna be. And it's a little bit difficult to see, but here is the real world again, and Kat and I has been collecting a lot of spruce wood to prepare for this, so I think I'm preemptively just gonna make a bunch of these, and then we will just start building. with that, the tree is done, more or less. I have a couple of missing blocks here and there, but we will take it as we go. But the majority of the tree has been built now, and some of it is built over some biome where I get snow. That's a little cute. It's a little bit hard to see here in the dark, so let me go take a nap. Now we can see it's in all its glory. Oh my goodness, it's out of render distance with me out here. I haven't filled in the nether bricks yet, so that will be the next thing we do. But the majority of the tree with the wood, with the logs and the spruce wood are done. And this has taken me so long. So often I've just logged on for like 4 hours, built a little bit, and then logged off and just doing progress. So there will be a lot of time where I just have to fly around and then I see, whoops, these have to be this block instead and fix it up. But that will be a almost said forever project. It will just be whenever we see it. So let me swap out my inventory for the nether bricks and get those filled out. That should be the last of the nether bricks. So now I'm gonna go around and just spawn proof it. Oh, I'm outside now. I meant to be inside. Okay. I need to get inside again because all of these numbers on the ground that are 0 means that hostile mobs can spawn. And hopefully this won't be forever that there will be hostile mobs, but for now I feel like it's a nice little extra to be able to not have enemies in here when I'm gonna work on stuff. So I'm gonna go around throwing some torches here and there to just get the majority of these mobs to not spawn again. There we go, and it definitely will be pretty apparent if there are spots that I haven't spawn proofed, so I'm not too worried about completely securing the place. I will, however, also go up and do it in here, because I don't have any ideas to use the space for anything in particular right now, but I might do something in the future. And I'm gonna fall. Let's do this. Bam, bam. But I think it is pretty spawn proofed in here. Spotted a hole here. Let's do that. I will forever find gaps in this tree. Oh goodness. So let me talk a little bit about this now that the tree is more or less complete. As you can see, this is the top of the tree and there's quite a lot of space in here. So I do have a lot of real estate to put in stuff, and most likely I'll put in some farms or something. But I could also put something else in here. So if you have any ideas to what I could fill out this tree with, let me know. Of course, there are some things that won't be possible. For example, an iron farm would not be doable because there will be way too many spawn places in here, which I've had issues with a big tree iron farm before. But, you know, maybe you guys have some ideas that I haven't thought about, and I'd love to check them out. And I will be honest with you, as of now, I don't have a design for the top of the trees with all of the leaves. I have ideas, though, and one of the ideas is, and by the looks of this means that all of my glass have been smelted. I went to a desert and completely mined out almost 2 shovels and got all of this because I do know I want stained glass of some sort. And while all of the glass were smelting in my base while I was building, because it was loaded in all times, I'm also hoping that the sheep farm has been loaded some, because I have changed 2 of the colors to orange, and yes, because I will be using a lot of orange wool as filler for the tree. And since we are on normal mode and we have mobs to spawn, we also have mob griefing off, because I don't want endermen and creepers to ruin my builds and terraforming, which also means that this configuration where a observer will observe if the sheep eats a grass block or not, it doesn't work because they will not change the grass block to dirt. So instead I just have 2 observers facing each other, so they are power and dispensers all the time pretty much. And there is no worry on them using up the shears, because they will only shear the sheep when they can. So we will not lose any durability on the shears. So at least we got a good start on the blocks we need for filler of the leaves. And then we have the more annoying part. So as you could see with the wool, I'm going for like an autumny vibe. Orange, yellows, reds, all that kind of stuff. So we will need a bunch of that, as well as some dyes to color in the glass. But there is also a thing that is perfect for the vision I want, which are apricot leaves, because they already have this beautiful orange color that I am going for. However, getting these leaves are quite the issue. You see, how to get the leaves, you will have to plant sprouts, apricot sprouts. I'm so sorry, my voice is still a little sick, so I am struggling, but we'll get there, However, how to get these is a little bit complicated. I have set up a little experiment, or just like a manual farm for it here, because I needed ultra balls where you need yellow and black apricot. So the way you will get the sprouts is that you will just continuously bone meal one of these, which is a sprout you put on a leaf, and then sometimes there is a chance that they will drop a sprout. And right now we're not having that much luck. That was a stack of bone meal. But eventually it has a chance of also dropping a sprout, which we can use to plant the trees that will grow the leaves, and then we can collect those. And I do have a farm in mind that I feel like would work fine to farm the sprouts, but for now we do have a bunch of extra sprouts, so we might start with that and see how far that will get us. So for now, and for the next very long time in the future, this is what I will be doing, so I can get a bunch of these orange leaves, so I can eventually start filling out and decorating that massive tree that you see in the background. So for now, this will be the video. I hope you enjoyed, as you got a little insight on what it's like to make builds of a bigger scale, and you also seen a little bit of the preparations for the next step of this tree, which might not be the next video, because let me be honest, this tree has given me massive burnout. It has been such an undertaking on my part, and it has just not been as fun as I had hoped. So I will probably work on some other projects in the next video. But until then, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments if you did, and what you feel like I should put into this massive tree. Remember to stay hydrated until we see each other again, and be nice to yourself and everyone around you, and have a good one. Bye bye!